Hello, Abstract Class here, and so my webcam came in, as you can obviously see. Super eager to try it, despite the fact that I have a cut right there from a razor, shaving quite hastily. And if you're curious, the reason I keep looking right there is looking and admiring my own beautiful face, and also at the scene switcher, which I'm going to use right now. Oh, hey, there we go. So here to bring you a follow-up to my Hearthstone video. And as you can see by my three quests, it's been a little while since I played. Been pretty busy, got a job and all that. And as for the background behind me, not my normal background. I'm actually at my parents' place for the summer, because long story. But I'm basically set up in their storage closet, more or less. So don't expect that to be like a permanent thing, all that mess back there. Anyways, I improved the Cthulhu Druid deck. As you can see, the curve is now much more fitting to a ramp deck, which is essentially what it is now. I removed the Scaram Cultist, because it's a terrible card, I think. Scaram Cultist. Oh, never mind. I guess I put it back in. I guess just because I needed more big creatures, which makes sense. You can remove it, and I recommend you would if you have more big creatures, but I don't, because I'm still trying to stay mostly free to play. I added in a Scaled Nightmare, because Scaled Nightmare is awesome. Love it. Added in an Emperor, because Emperor's great. I've added in a Validated Doomsayer, because there's a lot of taunt cards in this deck, which really gives the Doomsayer time to shine, I think. Still only have the one Ancient of War, would like to put a second one in there, so instead I have two Ironbacks to make up for it, and obviously Cthulhu. Faceless Manipulator with all the big creatures comes in handy a lot, and also if your opponent plays something like a Sylvanas or some other obviously board critical card, you can just copy it, and then you have one too. I would like another Crazed Worshipper, but I don't have one. I would like another Amber Weaver, but I don't have one. Elise, just because why not? You know, the stats are decent, and I get the Golden Monkey. Blah, 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 blah. I got one of her in a pack, the Darnassus Aspirant. It's okay, you know. I'd like a Mire Keeper, but I haven't pulled any of those yet. But considering that this is going to be an entirely free-to-play channel, I've decided to actually abandon the Cthulhu Druid, because first of all, Druid's not that great of a class in the current meta, and let's just be honest, it's not that great of a deck, and it's very expensive to run, especially if you're free-to-play. On a similar note of pack pulling and free-to-play, I did finally pull my first legendary. There it is. Nozdormu. Probably one of the worst legendaries you can pull, but I just don't have the heart to disenchant it. I might make some goofy Brewmaster deck with it. I don't know. If you're not familiar with the goofy Brewmaster deck, basically the Brewmaster has a really long animation, and Nozdormu only gives you 15 seconds for a player to take his turn. And so you can just play two Brewmasters on each other back and forth really, really quickly, and then the animations take 15 seconds to play out, more than 15 seconds, which means that the other player's entire turn is gone. So you play your turn super quickly, and then you just Brewmaster as much as you can, and then the other person loses their turn. Very stupid, gimmicky deck, but has the potential to be a lot of fun. Anyways, besides the point, so I'm changing the direction of this particular video series, free-to-play Hearthstone, because I have created a great zoo deck. In my opinion, it finally broke me out of rank 18 into rank 17. I stuck at rank 18 just forever. So bad. So Forbidden Ritual, must. Power Overwhelming, absolutely fantastic. Soulfire, I put in 2, and I'll tell you the reason once I finish going through the rest of this. Abusive Sergeant is great. I'd like to put in a second. I don't think I have a second Abusive Sergeant, do I? Nope, I only have the one. 2 Flame Imps. 2 Voidwalkers, 2 Bilefins. Bilefins are amazing. So good in Zoo. Dark Peddler is fantastic. It really just helps fill out curves, make good tempo plays. Especially because your ulti gives you the potential for another Soulfire, another Power Overwhelming. Direwolf, great card. I actually crafted that. I went through and I disenchanted all of the gold cards that I could, and I disenchanted all of my old goblins and gnomes cards, which wasn't that many, and yeah, through that and through just like the extras I've been getting out of packs, I was able to get like 600 dust, and so I crafted a lot of cards. Flame Juggler, I only have the one, but it'd be good if I had more. Tide Hunters, like, not as good. Bilefin. Succubus, it's a good card, but only kind of good. I might replace it with something else, but 2 for a 4/3 is kind of hard to beat. Argent Horse Rider, fantastic, probably one of the best cards of this entire deck in my opinion. It makes the deck. It just instant trade and keeps a creature on the field still. Can't beat it. Darkshire, actually, well, this makes the deck, this is the deck. Darkshire is so crazy. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I try and avoid playing him by himself. I'll even, like, wait turns so I can play him and immediately combo him. Just so I can get more potential value out of him, because, like, if anything's going to win you the game, it'll probably be Darkshire or some kind of Soul Power Overwhelming combination. Excuse me. Razorfen, just all-around good zoo card. Wolf Rider, again, good for the instant trade. That's really all I use the Wolf Rider for at this point, is just instant trades when I don't have a reply. Defender of Argus, I want another one. This one's from a pack, and it's the only one I have, and it's golden, and so I can't disenchant it because it's so good, and it's a rare, so I have to disenchant more other stuff. Oh, excuse me, toes itchy. There we go. I have to disenchant more other stuff before I can get 2 of them, because they're great. And I used to run 2 Doom Guards, but I noticed that my hand was usually just a little bit too full to run that, because that's a heavy burden to discard 2 random cards. And if your hand's empty, that's great, but I found that this deck usually wins or loses so quickly that it's just, you never really find the time to play a Doom Guard. So at this point, it's just kind of a last-ditch effort. I need to clear something big so I can win kind of card. So I found that most of the games that I win, I'll usually win between turns 6 and 9, which is pretty crazy. Most of the games I win being around turn 7. And usually the way I win is through some combination of a burst of Soulfire and Power Overwhelming, which is just like, I mean, you can get crazy high damage. Because let's say you have 2 Soulfires, which is, it's not good to have 2 Soulfires in your hand, because one could potentially discard the other, and a Power Overwhelming. So that is an extra 12 damage on top of what you would normally do, assuming you don't accidentally discard the Power Overwhelming or the Soulfire when you play the Soulfire. So ideally, if you have 2 Soulfires and Power Overwhelming, you play the Power Overwhelming, and then you tap to draw an extra card, then you play a Soulfire and hope the other Soulfire doesn't get discarded, and then you play the second Soulfire. And so that's another thing I've learned the hard way, is like, if you're going to Dark Peddler, Soulfire first. Because if you Dark Peddler for another Soulfire, because that's like the best thing you can get and that would win you the game, you've now kind of fucked yourself because you have 2 Soulfires in a hand, which is bad. So yeah, you gotta be, with this deck, you have to be mindful of the order in which you play your buffs, and the order in which you place your creatures. Now, sorry, my toe's really itchy. I could talk all day long about this, or, I mean, I could just show you. So let's play a game. As you can see, 17 2 stars. Considering this is actually my first game of the day, I'm just going to play a casual game, because I don't feel like losing a star right now and I haven't even warmed up. So how you doing? Okay. So I am going to walk you through how to play my zoo deck. Wow, this is already looking bad. Okay, so that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. You don't want Soulfires in your opening hand. You just don't. Oh man, we don't even have a turn 1 play. This is okay. There we go. Sorry, I didn't realize we had coin. I completely slipped my mind. Don't want to play Direwolf first because I'm afraid of what he'll do. Like Fiery War. Oh, he can't Fiery Works. Nonetheless, it doesn't do anything. You know, because right now I can get a 1-cost card, or I can play something that has potential effect in the future. And there's not a single charge card in this deck. So anything that gets buffed by this Direwolf isn't even going to be able to attack for an extra turn, which gives him just 1 more turn to kill it off. If I'm going to play the Direwolf, it's going to be to immediately buff something that can already attack, unless I have no other choice. But I do in this case, so this is what we're doing. Right now I'm pretty good for creatures, so to clear any possible taunts like the monkey or something he may put up, I'm going to grab Power Overwhelming. Because I've got the Bilefin, the Direwolf, and the Darkshire. So I might even save the Bilefin for a turn 5 play with the Darkshire if I can. Oh, but there we go. There's another turn 5 play, is these two together. So I still don't want to play the Direwolf. I would rather just get a board presence going and put down a taunt creature. Because we still have the same amount of total damage now as we would if we played the Direwolf, but we don't have to worry about possibly losing the Direwolf.
Listen closely.
Okay, so I see 2 potential plays here. I can put the Direwolf between these 2 minions, and then just swing in with these 2, and then I leave 2 creatures on the board still. I mean, I could ignore it and just go face, but I feel like that's a bad idea, because the Hunter has a lot of ways to clear a 1/1 taunt. I could use a Power Overwhelming on it, but that feels like a bit of a waste. Or I could Dark Peddler, hope for a Soulfire, and then hope nothing I like gets discarded, which I don't like that either. So I'm going to do the Direwolf play. It may be a little bit wasteful, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather save this stuff for like a burst play. Fiery War X. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to waste these Power Overwhelmings because I know the Hunter can play some heavy taunt cards. Because I have 2 Darkshires, I'm just going to play the Darkshire and then wait. Hopefully I can bait out some of his removal, because he's going to be scared of this Darkshire if he knows what's good for him. He's going to want to just clear it immediately, if he can. And then hopefully he'll waste enough of his removal that I can just play my other Darkshire. And that's a turn 5 play with Murloc Tidehunter. And if he doesn't manage to remove it, then that means I get 2 Darkshires buffed by the Tidehunter, which is fantastic. Okay, that's not good. I have literally no answer to this. So I'm gonna let him make the attacks and just go face. As is the zoo way. That is like just the zoo way of doing things. You don't have an answer, just go face. There we go. I'm not in a position where I feel I have to clear that anyways. Blood execute? Oh no, it's blood trade. Oh, that's great, because now I can take it out with the 2-1. Unless he whirlwinds. If he whirlwinds, I might be in trouble. No? Okay, that's actually really easy for us to just make a bunch of trades here. Cool. Cool. So this, definitely, here. Because that way this trades here. And this trades here. And then we can Dark Peddler and tap, or we can Razorfin. I like the Razorfin way more because it gives 2 to the Darkshire instead of 1.
Don't mess with Tusk.
And we also give him a target with the Direwolf, as well as the 7/5 Councilman to hit with his 2/2. So I'll have to choose between the 2. Or waste a removal card. Oh shit, was that lethal? No, never mind, no it wasn't. Sorry, I'm stupid. That was a really stupid thing for me to say. It was not even close to lethal. I just saw the two power overwhelmings together and was like, would that be enough damage? No, the answer is no. Next turn, yes. Okay, now no. Okay, we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 8 is 17. And we need to do 21. So we're 4 damage off. Oh man, there's 3. A Soulfire could do it. A Soulfire wins us the game.
Buying or selling.
Nope. Oh, hey, there we go. That Power Overwhelming would have done it, though, because that's still another 4 damage. He knew it, too. He knew it immediately. So that was turn 6, I think? No, it has been higher than that. I wasn't paying attention. It definitely wasn't turn 10, though. So a win before turn 10 is like, the best thing about a Zoo deck, besides the fact that you can easily make one on a free-to-play account. Is that it's just like fast-paced wins, just you're going. And I mean, if you win right away. If you lose, you also lose really quickly. You don't have to worry about these like control warrior type, just fucking drawn out long ass games. You just want to bust those ranks. All right, so let's try to play competitive. Feeling pretty warmed up. Oh. Oh my god, why is this taking so long? There's got to be a lot of rank 17s out there. So, changes I'd like to make to my deck: add another Abusive Sergeant, add another Defender of Argus, and maybe remove the Tide Hunters, I guess. Because they're just like copies of the Bilefins, but not as good. All they really benefit is the Darkshire. And I mean, they had board presence, but, you know, Argus adds way better board presence. And, I really like Abusive Sergeants, because they're in the same kind of vein as, like, the burst damage with the Power Overwhelming and the Soulfires. And they can also be used to get minions to trade up, while also adding to your board. Oh! Well, shit. Okay. Interesting. Huh.
Welcome. Boys, make some room by the hearth, won't ya?
Let's try this again, I guess. I honestly couldn't tell you if that was my internet, because I'm in a basement right now on wireless, or that was Hearthstone server, Blizzard servers, Hearthstone servers, same thing. Yeah, not honestly sure.
Gul'dan versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Your nightmare.
Nope, nope, nope. We want low-cost creatures. We want to out-zoo this guy, basically. Oh, that's beautiful. That is exactly what I want. Because the trick is, when you're fighting Zoo against Zoo, you basically just have to out-Zoo the guy. You have to make a bigger board presence and make better trades. Voidwalker, of course. So our immediate answer is a Flame Imp, followed by a Voidwalker. Max tempo. If you're wondering why I have a Golden Flame Imp, it's the only other Flame Imp I have. Bilefin, of course. Easy trades, easy life. We will also rock our Bilefin, and then go into here and into here. There we go.
Get it out! Get it out! out!
The light protects me.
Okay, I feel like I actually don't have to make any trades here. I'm just going to lay down... the tempo play would be to play the Razorfin. But I want more taunt, because I want to keep my 3-1 safe. So we're going to lay down another Bilefin. And then we go face. We stay face. Force him to make the trades here. As far as I know, Warlock has no real way to buff health, only attack. Unless his power overwhelming, then just dies at the end of turn. So, ideally here, I'm going to be killing a villager, possessed villager, which I honestly don't think should be in your zoo deck. I don't think it's that great of a card. And then the Argent Squire, which probably should be in your zoo deck, because that is a pretty great one. And if you're wondering why I would say that, it's because if you do somehow manage to permanent buff, it's just a Divine Shield I feel is more universally usable and better than, excuse me, my gosh, a Rebirth as a 1/1. Ugh.
So many possibilities.
Alright, we're just going to ignore that Imp Gang boss, honestly. I don't give a fuck about it, and there's no point in making trades here because our attacks are higher than his. So it's just like force him to make the trades, you know? If I play the Darkshire, that puts a big threat on the board and forces him to attack like everything into it, and I can just keep attacking his face, which normally I wouldn't want to do, but because we're trying to out-zoo him here, it is what I want to do. But the other thing I'm worried about is play the Darkshire, it just gives his Imp Gang boss an easy target, and then he makes trades. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Instead, I'm going to bait him with a Tidehunter and tap, just to force him into making more trades. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So assuming that's still not enough. This is gonna be our kill, hopefully. Oh, I forgot about Thunder Vargas. I'm an idiot. Alright, so now we gotta make some trades. Shitty. So, obviously we're gonna Direwolf. Then the question is, do we Flame Imp tap, or do we Darkshire? I feel like we should Darkshire. That's definitely what we should do. There. That was a good play. Well, I mean, as good as it could be, I think. Alright, so that's a 2-5. I'm kind of feeling the Doomguard here, just to remove his Darkshire, and it puts a pretty big presence on the board. I also don't mind giving up the Razorfin and Flame Imp. Oh, I do kind of mind giving up the Argent Horse Rider, because that's an easy trade, but I don't have a way to deal with this guy, and he's only going to get worse. So I got a Doomguard and just hope the Argent Horse Rider survives. Yes! Fuck! Yes! I like this. I like this a lot. I'm gonna force him to make the trades. He's gonna have to choose between the two. I don't care if either one lives. I mean, one of them is going to live, probably. Never mind, they're both going to die. But making the trades wouldn't have done anything about it. It wouldn't have changed that at all. Alright, he is currently out-zooing me, and this will not stand. So this is what I was talking about ordering, you know. I have 3 things I'm going to do this turn. At some point, I'm going to play an Argent Horse Rider, I'm going to play Succubus, and I'm going to tap. The order is very, very important if you don't want to accidentally fuck yourself. First, we Argent Horse Rider. Then we Succubus, so we can't discard anything. Essentially playing a 2-4-3. 2-4-3. 2 cost 4-3. There we go. For free. That's a tongue twister. Then we tap. Now we have a Voidwalker for next turn. We are not going to swing into either one of these, because that would be dumb, in my opinion. We are just going to go face. As he is at 9 HP, we have a Divine Shield, so he has to swing twice into it anyways. And as we all know, face is the place. double trade. We are now out-zooing him, by the way. Oh, 50-50.
It's getting hot in here.
Ooh! Stay lucky. We're gonna tap first. That's the game, boys. Well played. So that was a great example of ordering and creature placement. This is how you win with Sue. I mean, I could keep playing, but I honestly feel like that game was more than good enough to demonstrate pretty much everything you need to know about playing this deck and how to play it. If it wasn't, let me know in the comments if you want to see more, and I'd be happy to cover it. But I mean, in the meantime, I don't know why I clicked my collection. We can already see all my decks. I do have other decks I want to play. You may be wondering where the rest of all my dust went. That would be the shittiest rogue here. The shitties rogue. It's supposed to be the shittiest rogue. Like the littlest toaster, but the shittiest rogue. I made a Miracle Rogue just because I find the playstyle so intriguing. And I haven't played it in ranked yet, but I'm playing it in casual because that's how I test out all my decks. Wow, I'm burping a lot right now. Wow, I'm just burping a lot today, period. So I made a Miracle Rogue deck based off just what I could craft and didn't feel terrible about. So now I have 2 backstabs. Only have 1 prep because prep is an epic, and didn't feel like wasting all my dust on an epic. I have 2 Shadow Steps. 2 Cold Bloods, only 1 Conceal, I want 2. 2 Deadly Poisons, 2 Eviscerates, 2 Saps, 2 Shivs. Only 1 Loot Hoarder. I'm not sure if it's because I only have 1 or because I just chose 1. It's because I only have 1. 2 Fan of Knives, 2 Earthen Rings, 2 SI Agents, 2 Tomb Pillagers, 2 Azure Drakes. I crafted those bad boys, by the way, because even though I've opened up maybe 30 classic packs, I've never once gotten an Azure Drake because I'm just fucking unlucky as shit. A Dark Iron Skulker, which is like probably... I mean, every Miracle Road deck should run this, because the whole deck is just biding time, and what better way to bide time than Iron Dark Skulker? Argent Commander. He's really just there because I didn't really have any high-cost creatures, and I felt like he would work well with the Cold Bloods, and kind of in the same way as the Doom guy. What's his name? It's really bugging me now. Hellscreamer? Doomguard. Yeah, the same way as the Doomguard. So the same kind of just like burst damage concept. I can't believe I forgot his name. Jesus. Flubbing all over the place. And then, of course, an Auctioneer, which I didn't have enough dust to craft a second one, but I really do need a second one for this deck to work. And that's the only reason it doesn't work right now, is if I don't get the Auctioneer, the deck is just shit. But if I do get the Auctioneer, I pretty much guarantee win. Because, I mean, you may be... If you don't know Miracle Rogue, the whole idea is you Auctioneer, and then you have a whole bunch of really cheap spells. As you can see, we have 5 zero-cost spells, and one of them makes another spell, basically in this deck 0 cost. So, let's say I Auctioneer, right? Now let's say 1 Tomb Pillager has already died, so I have a coin. So, now I can Auctioneer, then I can coin. I draw 1 card. Then I can Backstab, that's 2 cards. Then I can Prep, followed by an Eviscerate. That's 3 cards, and I just dealt 4 damage. Then I can use my coin, and I can use Cold Blood. There's 8 damage, and I just drew 5 cards. Then the next turn, I can play a Shadow Step to return something to their hand, to return the Auctioneer to my hand, or maybe I still have Dark Iron Skulker out and I can return him to my hand and play him again, or Azure Drake, or any card, or SI Agent, or anything with any creature with combo. And so I draw another card, and then I can play my second Eviscerate and play 2 Deadly Poisons that I've now accumulated, and play my other Cold Blood, and then conceal all my minions so the Cold Blood sticks. You see where I'm going here? It's so good. You just burst it all out in like 3 turns and you win. And so far it has been working. So free to play shittiest rogue is possible. I mean, it's theoretically doable. The other deck that I want to show you guys is my shitty mid-range, which I've been working on forever. And the only reason I even built a mid-range deck is because it's so fucking easy to play and so powerful in the ladder. You literally just play the curve and you win. So I'm rocking 1 Lightning Bolt, 1 Primal Fusion. I'm thinking about taking it out though. The Primal Fusion was just like a test. This is like a totem deck / mid-range. 2 Rock Biters is a must. 2 Tunnel Trogs is a must. 2 Ancestral Knowledge actually helps a lot for when the deck starts to slow down, because it will eventually run out of steam. Right around turn 12, I find, it runs out of steam. So in that case, Ancestral Knowledge. Stormcrack, because I don't have another Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is just better, because, I mean, it's 1 less damage for 1 less mana, and it's to anything. I don't want to keep doing it. It's to anything. It's creature or hero, as opposed to Stormcrack, which is minion. I know when I say creature, it's because I come from Magic the Gathering, where they're creatures, not minions. 2 Flame Tongues is a must. I crafted 2 Totem Golems, must. I want another Feral Spirits, because they're really good at biding time for those aggro decks and such, or just whenever your deck starts to slow down. 2 Hexes is like a must, in my opinion. Tuskar Totemic, I crafted these guys. I think I crafted 1 of them. Not a must, but incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful, because it puts 2 creatures on the board, 2 minions on the board, guaranteed, and you have the possibility of getting a Totem Golem as that minion. Unbound Elemental, I might remove him from the deck, but I mean, it's 3 for a 2/4, which is pretty solid, and he's only going to get bigger. So I mean, it's alright. I don't think I have anything comparable 3-drop wise I'd rather put in. I'd probably take 1 out to put in another Feral Spirits. And I don't know what else is here. Maybe an Owl? But I don't really need to worry about silencing stuff. I don't really see any 3-drops here that I'd particularly take over an Unbound Elemental. So Feral Spirits, and then the other one would stay. Fireguard Destroyer, I really, really like this card. I usually play him before I play the Flame Wreath Faceless, the 4-drop 7/7 monster, because they're decently comparable in stats. It's only Overload 1, and if it becomes a 7/6, which is a possibility, it forces them to use whatever their removal would be on this guy, and then I can play the 7/7 unchallenged next turn. Because it's like, say on turn 4 I play it. Next turn, because I'm overloaded 1, I have 4 mana and I can play the Flame Wreath. Well, if I did it the other way, I'd play the Flame Wreath, and the next turn I'd only have 3 mana and I wouldn't be able to play the Flame Guard. So, unless you really need to do 7 damage on turn 5 for some reason, you want to play the Fire Guard first, and the Fire Guard's just a good card, really. 2 Bloodlust, unlike most decks that only run 1, mainly because I don't have all the cards that normal mid-range would run, and mainly because I find that Bloodlust is literally my win condition. It's like the only way I'm going to win the game, probably, is if I Bloodlust. So I run 2 of them. And Psychotron, just because it's an all-around really good card, and I needed a really sticky 5-drop or 6-drop, and that's about as sticky as they come. Taunt and Divine Shield, 5 for a 3/4. And then, of course, Fire Elemental, which is just a really good way of doing some quick damage, and it's a 6 for 6/5, which is like kind of shitty in stats, but it's still like a big creature you can put on the board. This actually works really well. This is what I was running before I developed my Zoo deck. In my opinion, my Zoo deck is better right now, and it's just I think Zoo is honestly better overall than mid-range Shaman. Not because it's necessarily has a higher win percentage, but just because of the turnaround time in games. Just because the games are shorter when you play Zoo. And its win percentage, I feel, is almost as good as mid-range Shaman. But mid-range Shaman probably has the highest overall win percentage of, I think, any deck in the meta right now. Except for maybe N'Zoth Paladin. But N'Zoth Paladin is hard to play. And it's also expensive to play. But as you can see, there's not a lot of rares in this deck. There's one... Yeah, literally 1 rare, no epics, no legendaries. So this is like a very, very playable deck if you're free to play. You can easily craft like most of these cards, except for the Feral Spirits. But even so, 1 rare is not bad for a deck. And this deck does win, trust me, it wins. So I'd like to play this one probably next. But I guess that's enough of me rambling. If you guys have any suggestions, if I made some kind of gross misplay and you want to point it out, that's cool too. I guess like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and if your feelings are more complicated, put a comment down below. I stole that spiel from Linus Tech Tips, and I'll see you guys sometime in the future.